Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So this Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, I want to show you guys some facts. Facts are whales are accumulating. They are not selling. So if you're a Bitcoin holder, if you're a crypto holder, do not be fooled. What happened recently actually has nothing to do with the whales selling. In fact, they are accumulating, and that is what I'm going to show you today. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's do this. I know some of you guys are still, worried about what happened yesterday, and I explained it a couple of times. This was artificial, in my opinion, due to this new COVID variant that caused a lot of scare. And it wasn't just Bitcoin; it was the entire equities market. But had it not for that, had it been where that news wasn't released, I think Bitcoin will be well above 60,000 right now. But that's that's in the past. But right now, what's going on is there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff. And I'm going to move that over a little bit. Right now, fear and greed index is still at 21. So that certainly isn't good. However, if you look at the opposite, if you're following the contrarian kind of view, when everyone's fearful, that is actually when you're supposed to be buying, right? You buy low and you sell high, and many have their famous quotes about, you buy when blood is in the street, even if it's your own, or you buy when others are fearful, right? That is exactly, I think, let me put it this way. It's exactly one of the reasons why we should have taken advantage of the dip the last few days, right? Because crypto and Bitcoin were, especially altcoins, I should say, were sky high. Now some of them have reset, right? They have come back down. And when everyone is fearful, that's when you have a golden opportunity to get in and buy things cheap, right? And you'll be better for it. So that's good, I guess, if you're looking at a contrarian view. But let me show you a couple other things that actually really pinpoint what I was talking about at the beginning. Number one, take a look at this whale alert. Someone just brought it to my attention. And you look at whale alert, within the last 7 minutes, you had 172 million USDT, which is a stable coin, transferred to Binance. Now, what do you think this whale is going to do with USDT on Binance? It's not like they're going to sell USDT on Binance, right? They're not selling anything. They're trading. They're going to utilize that to buy, guess what? Probably altcoins, right? Same thing, 45 minutes ago, 57 million USDT transferred to KuCoin. Why do you think they're transferring 57 million to KuCoin, right? I just got done saying these whales, they're not selling, they're buying. They're buying when there's fear out, when there's panic out there, when there really shouldn't be. But this kind of gives you an idea of what exactly is going on with some of these whales. They are depositing their stable coins right now, and they're looking to pounce, and they're looking to buy. So evidence number one, but there's many others. Willy Woo also, he's like a Glassnode expert. He's like an on-chain metric expert. And he didn't label this, so it's kind of hard to see which indicator this is on the bottom. However, I think I can correlate what he's trying to say. You could see that when the whales are selling, you could see on the bottom here, you could see there's a steep sell-off whenever whales are actually selling. And you could see back in April of 2020 when Bitcoin fell down drastically, right? So this was the pandemic, COVID, all that stuff that happened around March or April of 2020. You could see that there was a huge drop off, right? Then you notice that back in April of 2021, the same thing occurred when Bitcoin actually fell down. There was a steep drop off on the bottom too, whatever this indicator or metric is that they didn't really, put label, but you could clearly see the two are correlated from May of 2020. March of 2020 and April 2021, same thing. But look at right now on the very right side with this recent dip. That's why I think this is an artificial dip. This is just a panic dip because of the news that came out yesterday. But take a look. On the bottom side, it did not dip. It actually went up. The whales are actually buying. They're using this opportunity to buy. They're not actually using this to sell. So again, more evidence to show that the whales are not selling at this point. They don't think that this is top and they're selling. No, in fact, they're taking advantage of the situation right now. Other evidence. Here's one. This is supposedly the wallet of the third largest Bitcoin whale. Someone that has been accumulating quite tremendously since November. And they just purchased another 105 Bitcoins. So they purchased 105 Bitcoin a few days ago, and then like 600 a few days before that, and then 800 a few days before that, and 1,000, like a few days before that. It seems like this whale is ramping up his or hers portfolio because there's a lot of buys, a lot of buys over the last few weeks, right? So there's just a lot of buying going on right now. Okay, this is something else that measures relative value to market value of Bitcoin. So this also indicates that, yeah, even though Bitcoin did dip a little bit, the value that measures traditionally tops and bottoms utilizing this is at the point where Bitcoin was still below 20,000, right? So it kind of shows you how I guess the environment for Bitcoin is right now. Despite the fact that we came back down to 54,000, 55,000, I realize that. Excuse me. But this metric that shows you the relatively value versus market value, which pits the two together, and you can see how this does indicate what's to come, especially if you look at starting from November of 2020, we are at that same point. And that was when Bitcoin was still below 20,000. If you look at this, probably around 10 to 12,000, right? And right now we're not at 10 to 12,000. We are at 55,000. So what does this mean? That means that the whales are accumulating. All those things I just showed you, they're accumulating because they know there's a lot more room to grow. And I do believe there's a lot more room to grow. That's why I started out saying, you know what? The last few days, I think was a good buying opportunity, including today. I mean, whenever things are discounted, it's a good time to buy. It's a good time to buy if you can, right? And you don't have to go all in. And I think that's the mistake many people make when they feel like, okay, it's a good time to buy in, and they put all their money in, and then it goes down further, and they're like, oh, no, look, I just lost money. Well, no, when you buy in DCA, you do it in increments. You don't go all in. That way, if it does go down more, you could buy it even more, right? Dollar cost average. That's the whole point to it. Now, lastly, I did see this. This is, pure technicals, but, just to break it down, this person, CryptosRUs, has basically correlated within the last two cycles where bottom is and where top is, utilizing Fibonacci levels, kind of like what TechDev does. And according to him, in 2013, the top was this Fibonacci level, the extension called, or point at 0.786. And that happened to be the exactly same point for top in 2017. And if we get that exact point for 2021 or 2022, it's still 2021, guys. If we get that same kind of top at that 0.786 level, that puts Bitcoin around 140 to 150,000. So not as high as the 200,000 predictions that many have stated, but it's still well above $100,000. And what's more interesting about that is after hitting that point, this person believes that the bottom of the next bear cycle will be at $60,000. So think about it. At the bottom, the next bear cycle is $60,000, and we're at 55,000. That kind of shows you how undervalued Bitcoin is right now, right? Relative to where it will be if that's the next bottom at $60,000, right? And again, this is utilizing some kind of Fibonacci level. So I just thought it's interesting just to kind of break this down for you guys. Yeah. All right. Outside of that, outside of Bitcoin, right? Looking at everything else, crypto, altcoins, Bitcoin dominance went down even lower than last night. So it's still trending down. Again, I've talked about this a couple times. When Bitcoin dominance goes down, that means that people have confidence, and that means people are buying altcoins. That's why Bitcoin dominance goes down. If Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin dominance goes up, that's when there's a lot of fear, a lot of panic. Everyone is selling everything and going back to Bitcoin. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. So again, going back to whales and people, buying, they are, right? That is why Bitcoin dominance continues to go down. And today is a relatively, I guess, calm day. You have some recovery, of course, not back to their previous highs, but some of these altcoins are not far off from their highs anyways, right? So overall, I guess this, the market is doing good. There's a few standouts today. I saw a couple, like Anchor. Some of you guys have asked me about Anchor before. Well, they partner up with Sacramento Kings, which is an NBA team, a professional team, and in their signage and logo will be everywhere on court and everywhere else. So kind of interesting partnership because Anchor's not really into... They're not really like a L1. They're more of like a hosting play, but they consider themselves part of Web3, but okay, but that probably helped them a little bit. That's why Anchor has been going up. I saw Brave also came out with their Brave wallet. This has been, a work in progress for quite some time. So this is like a MetaMask basic competitor, but they're completely web-based. So you don't need to install an extension. And it looks like they have all these other features that MetaMask does not. And this seems to be helping BAT. Lately, BAT has been doing pretty well. So this is probably the latest thing that's been helping them. And it has a DEX integrated too, which is really, really nice. Also, what else is there? I did notice this. I don't think a lot of people is talking about this, but supposedly that 30%, that one wallet that controls 30% of Doge, that has been proven to be a wallet that Robinhood holds. And people did some on-chain analysis, looking at the address, looking at all the transactions, and it looks like one of the very first Robinhood test sends, I believe, of Doge came from this one wallet that holds 30%. So it's still unconfirmed because Robinhood didn't confirm it, but it's pretty darn accurate, meaning that, yes, Robinhood is the one that is holding 27% of all Doge, and that's been speculated for quite some time because Robinhood has been involved with Dogecoin for some years now. So it would not surprise me. Just wanted to point that out. And lastly, I want to point this out. This is interesting. This shows you the top 1,000 ETH wallets, the richest ETH whales, what they hold besides ETH, obviously. And it shows that they combined hold about 12% of Shiba, or 12% of what they hold is in Shiba. And then you have FTX, then you have CRO, then you have BEST, OKB, and there's a few others in here. So I guess a couple things surprised me from this. Number one is Shiba, as large as it is. I guess that's somewhat a surprise, but maybe not really because Shiba is a ERC20 token. So there's a tremendous amount of ETH holders that's holding SHIB. FTX is quite a surprise. I'm surprised at so many. It could be because Sam Bankman-Fried himself owns so much ETH because he is a billionaire. So maybe a lot of that is because of him. And then it makes sense that he holds a lot of FTX tokens. But then the other ones, I think CRO is not a surprise, but BEST and OKB, that's kind of a surprise. And there's a few others in here that are surprises. So just want to share that. A lot of ETH holders hold SHIB. No, let's just put it that way. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. And Lucy, I saw that big super sticker. Appreciate it. Dude, I really do. Jacob asks, do you think Chainlink will pump this cycle? Yes. If Bitcoin is going to continue upwards, it's going to go towards 100,000, 150,000, wherever it may end up. If it goes up, yes, everything that is good will go up. Something good would be like Chainlink, but also bad will go up too. So there's a lot of bad projects that'll be swept up as well. But Chainlink is definitely one of the good ones, the biggest oracle, and they have a randomizer that a lot of DeFi projects and gambling projects use. And also the biggest thing I think a lot of people miss out on is the bridge, and they call it CCIP. And I think that's going to be huge for them. Many projects will be utilizing it. All right, we need Plan Z. Plan B posted something about RSI this morning. I didn't show it because it didn't really pinpoint much, but I did draw this out for you guys yesterday. This is my very, 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 very basic TA, but it is pretty clear that Bitcoin, from the last three lows, right, and the highs are in this channel. It's pretty clear that it is in a channel, and the good thing about it is where Bitcoin is right now, around 53, 54, 55, right? If you look at in the middle here, the red line for RSI, it's about the same point as the last two lows. And that was when Bitcoin fell to like 28, 29, and also when it fell to about 39, 40. And right now, being where it is, could be that bottom, that local bottom, and this is where if Bitcoin continues to follow this trend and it hits the top of the channel, that's where 90,000 plus is where it's heading. So if you look at RSI, it's definitely very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Scrolling down. Down. Mercia. Sorry, I'm bad with that, but I appreciate that. Someone says Filecoin is undervalued. I don't think Filecoin is undervalued at all. I think if anything, they're overvalued. I don't know anyone that's using Filecoin really. I don't even hear about projects using Filecoin. That's the thing. So I don't know. I like Arweave. I've stuck with them for quite some time. I think Arweave, they're a great decentralized storage, but they're a great archive of the internet, and they're the storage backbone for Solana. So I do like them quite a lot versus, say, Filecoin. Coca-Cola is still backing the unstoppable EDC network, which seems to go through a 51% attack every week, yet he is still on board. All right. Check out XYO, hidden. I know about them. I don't think they're a hidden gem. A lot of people know about them, but I don't think they're getting the traction they need. They're all about location-based stuff. Location-based data that could be shared among IoT devices and others, but they're just not. They're not gaining anything right now. And others in the layer 1 realm is kind of in that same boat too. Blockchain influencer awards. I voted for CryptosRUs. Okay. That's what it is. I know you were talking about some BIA. I didn't know what it was. I'll tweet it out. If I find out, I'll tweet it out. Not that it really matters. There's others that probably will win, but whatever. I'll take a look at it. Thank you. Gold 13 Dragon, welcome, new member. Do you expect BAT to keep going next few days? Right, I supported BAT since 2017, and they've just been a project where they've been humming along. The Brave browser, which is what I'm using, is great. But they've added a DEX recently. They added their wallet, right? They're going to add search engine. I mean, they're finally building upon their ecosystem outside of just their digital advertisement or digital marketing, because that was their bread and butter. But they realized that that's not, I guess, working out that well. So they need to expand, and that's what they're doing. So with this expansion, it could definitely help them. What about Godwoke and Nervos? What do you think about this project? It's just layer 2 on Nervos, so hopefully it could draw in a lot of dApps. Cake has not pumped. What are your thoughts? No thoughts about why it has not pumped. What do you think about Rune? I've always been neutral on Thorchain and Rune. Have you watched Billions? I love that show. Someone introduced it to me like last year or something. I think it was last year. But I really love that show. Unfortunately, the main guy, I forgot his name. He left the show. So I don't know how the show will be without him. You know what, the type of shows that really impress me usually involve a character that is like the best of that field or niche, right? For Billions, it was just like, it was two guys that's the best of what they do going up against each other. And all the shows I watched before that I really enjoyed had was one genius guy that was the best of his field. And I really kind of enjoy those shows, and sci-fi shows, and shows with a religious twist, in case you guys care. All right. Not a fan of Render. Why do I never talk about Stellar? Because I have no news about Stellar, and nor do I like the project. My moon boots are ready. Good. All right. If COVID exposure gets worse, how will BTC go? David, I've said that. The only thing that I think will drag down Bitcoin further is if there's worse news about this new strain, and it pulls the entire equities market down, then I think it's gonna pull Bitcoin down too. I think that's the only thing that's holding it back right now, because this news, had it not come out, Bitcoin would be well above 60,000, probably heading to a new high by now. I mean, Bitcoin was doing that. Thanksgiving Day, it was up to 60,000, and all of a sudden it came down because of this news. So I think that's the only thing that can hold it back. Now, how low Bitcoin could go, I have no idea. It really depends on how bad it is. But right now, it's definitely not near as bad as March of 2020. It's just that people are afraid that this new strain is going to drag things on further. But it's very, very early. Very early. So, may not happen. Most likely, it won't happen. Any thoughts on SparkPoint? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have that. I don't have any thoughts on it. Mayton, what's your mana prediction if Bitcoin hits 100K? Mana has been doing really, really, really well. Even today, hardly down, right? So Mana could definitely double or triple from here, I believe. And they're a big cap now, so they're above 10 billion. Can they keep going and say go to 20 billion? Yeah, I think so. So Bitcoin goes to 100,000. I think Mana's going to go more than 2x, probably 3x. Rich buddy, too many bargains, not enough money. That's usually the case. That's why you guys have to have cash on the side, 25, 30% on the side. And some people may think, oh, that's silly. No, it's not silly, because there's always corrections. There's always dips that you could take advantage of, right? So, yeah. What do you think about Infinity and Flux? I like both projects. BidMoon, I appreciate that. All right, last few questions. Let's see. New members. 3 new members. Thank you. Welcome. What else? Casper almost up 100% in 30 days. Thoughts? No thoughts. I don't know why it went up. It's probably because it's a privacy play, but I don't know why it went up. Probably got added on Coinbase or something like that. Happens all the time. Love you from London. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I'll let you go overall. Hey, Bitcoin is recovering slightly. Altcoins are recovering slightly. Fear index is still low. But what's not happening right now is panic selling. And what's not happening right now is whale selling. Because if you look at what's happening, they are actually ready to pounce. In fact, they have started already. There's just a lot of indicators out there that show that there is no mass dumping from the whales. In fact, they're doing the opposite. They're actually buying, right? Which is why I think we should be doing that. The last few days has been a pretty good buying opportunity. And if you're one of those contrarians, you would know that you buy when people are fearful. You do the opposite of what most people are doing, which I guess if you look at the fear index, most people are selling due to the fear index because it's extreme fear. But what you want to do is take advantage when you can. Okay? So, there you go. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.